Whew, and there it is. We're live again. And I'm a sweaty mess again. Let me try to towel off slightly. Oh, for the benefit, that's the wrong towel. Oh, God. Oh, man. That's the oil one. Okay. That's the one I use for wiping oil off my CNC machine. So I don't want to use that one. I guess I should organize my... I'll have to organize my my towels a little better, my rags. How's this one? Yeah, there you go. That's the one. All right, perfect. Yep, well done. So I'm not wiping myself off with, oil or 70% alcohol, whatever that is. God, I could use a drink now, though. I'll tell you. In fact, I will have a drink. I've got myself a nice. Hello, Rebecca. Look at you joining so quickly from North Carolina. Jonathan, hey, GLH, how are you? Discord notifications worked. Oh, that's cool. How did someone set that up for me? Because I didn't do that. That'll be interesting. Yeah. All right. So did someone set that up on the Discord for me? That's amazing. That exercising will kill you, Dave. It's true, Wayne. It's true. It is killing me. Cal fixed it. Of course she did, because Cal is the superior human being. Huge love to Cal. Cal doesn't join us on the YouTube ones, I don't think. I don't think she likes YouTube. She's a big fan of the Twitch stuff. She prefers the moderating. I think she doesn't like the bedlam, the complete madness that occurs when I do this on my YouTube channel. So, all right, I'm struggling to look at the word. Jesus, look at my glasses are a mess. Okay. All right. It's old David, eh? It's ancient old David talking to the YouTubes. My God, I want to feel like an old man. Do half an hour on elliptical and feel like you've accomplished something. Weird day today. I was supposed to see my lovely old friend Penn, who is a brilliant AD. She's been working in film, boy, almost as long as I have, and works for everyone from Guillermo del Toro to God, I don't even know. I mean, she's worked on absolutely everything. She's amazing. Anyways, so I was supposed to meet up with her, but my son's tummy is bothering him for the second day in a row, so he's had to come home again, which is a bit of a worry. So we've got him set up with a doctor next week, find out what's going on there. He seems pretty open to discussing it with them. So, and it's his first grown-up doctor, which is kind of fun. I'm not sure how fun that is, but that he's been at a pediatrician for so long now, he's actually got a real doctor, as he would put it. So I think he's probably, YouTube is nice, but I mostly miss the streams. Oh, really, Jack Jass? Oh, Jack Jasper, how the heck are you? Yes, I too miss the streams. I was going to try to stream yesterday. I was supposed to try to stream yesterday, and I spent hours futzing around with my wretched Mac. The problem is I need my computers for multiple things, right? And I also need to be in multiple places. So sometimes I'm out here, sometimes I'm inside, sometimes I'm in different rooms inside. So I'm moving around a lot right now because I don't really have an office space or a space to stream. So what I should probably do is figure out how to build something that's going to be warm and soundproof enough to work in without spending a fortune on it. I think I might try something with some sound blankets, maybe and an electric heater or something. See if I can jerry rig something together in order to make that work. Last time I saw you that sweaty, you were on a sun-drenched planet wearing rubber suit, looking for renegade SGA members. Oh, very good, Wayne. Well, that's yes, yeah, and looking a lot younger too. It was a lot of hair ago. Sci-fi artist says, "Oh, Cryokeen, the sci-fi artist. Hi, I have a cat." Well, I'm so sorry for you. I have a dog. I've had cats. I'm done with cats. Wretched Mac, say it again. Ain't so. Say it ain't so. Look, I love my Mac. Absolutely love my MacBook Pro. It's a little tiny. I've got the little tiny one. It's fantastic. It can do everything. It just kind of sucks at capturing audio, desktop audio. Unlike the PC, where it's just very easy to do that. It's just a configuration thing. With the Mac, you got to download software, and you got to, and of course, because the Mac is not set up for streaming all the time, I need it for other things as well. I'm constantly changing the settings, and as a result, I'm constantly getting myself in trouble. So poor Lance. I ended up having a great conversation with Lance yesterday anyways, but we were going to do our Damn Dirty Abes, and we didn't get to that. And then I'm not going to get to it today because, as I say, I've got the kid home. I think actually the kid and I are going to try... there's this new horror game that I'm kind of interested in called Alan Awake or Alan Wakes 2 or something like that. And so I thought I would maybe sort of just cozy up with him this afternoon or this evening and play that game because he's feeling pretty miserable and he's got a bunch of work that he's going to get done while I'm doing this. And I think if he gets his work done and he does he does his practicing. He's playing bass now, so he's been practicing bass, all the Nirvana songs and stuff. Anyways, I should say, this is my Burn&Learn. This is my bid to stay fit and alive long enough to enjoy my golden years with my brilliant, beautiful wife, Jane, and my fabulous son, Sebastian, and our wretched dog, Huzzah. So in an attempt to sort of guilt myself into doing this, I'm basically announcing the fact that I have exercised when I have, so that I can be held accountable when I don't. The idea is basically try to do at least 5 days a week. Although weirdly, maybe this is a good sign. Last Sunday, even though that was a day off for me, I was like, screw this, I got to exercise. Like I really needed to get on the elliptical. It's just bizarre. Talked to Malazzi about horror. He's working on a project, Malazzi, when is he not working on a project? He's always got something going, that guy. He's amazing. Oh my God, cool. I'm in the middle of Alan Wake 1 before I play 2. Have fun. Yeah, I'm just going straight into 2 because I've heard it's amazing. But what do we got there? Making some jewelry to meet you guys at Basingstoke at the moment. Wow. You battle cold. Sorry, Mandy. Mandy is the amazing maker of chainmail, and she sent me a wonderful letter with the whole history of this stuff and a bunch of these beautiful samples of jewelry that you should absolutely bring a bunch of them to Basingstoke. You should sell some stuff at Basingstoke, for God's sake. Marco Maldi, how are you? Smiley face. Layer cake. I need to get into something like that. So far, Beat Saber is the thing I can stay motivated about the most. So great. So do Beat Saber. I mean, this is the thing, Jack Jasper's reminded that he needs to exercise as well. Jack Jasper, by the way, go check him out on Twitch. Amazing artist doing amazing stuff, and a wonderful, wonderful human being, I'd have to say. How are you, Jack? Exercise-wise, here's the thing. I'm finding more and more about life is that it's just doing a tiny little bit of something every day. I am so ADD, I need to do everything at once, and it's either now or it's never going to get done. And I have discovered, maybe through the help of medication and doctors and things, that if I can just get myself on that elliptical machine, I will do the exercise. But I will do anything in my powers not to do that. So now what I do is I take the wretched dog for a walk. Huzzah is her name. I take her for a walk. That gets me a little bit warmed up. Then I come home and I putter around drinking coffee and stuff, trying to put off the fact that I am now going to leap onto this torture device. And so I leap on the torture device, which is behind me there. It was behind me now. Now I've just knocked it over. Behind me, God, where is it? Can you see it? It's right there. There you go. That's the torture device. That is the elliptical that is the misery that is my life. So I come out here. I emerge like the stuff that's steamed from the back end of a horse at the end of it, because it's freezing cold in here. Weirdly, because it's really nice outside, I've discovered that it's actually warmer when the doors open here, because the sunlight comes in and sort of heats up the door and stuff, and for some reason it makes it much more pleasant in here. But I swear to God, it's colder inside than it is outside a lot of the time here. So I got to figure something out there. I'm wondering about some kind of is there a way I could have like a little solar pump thing that just circulates water and radiates it in here somehow. So perfect timing, David. Oh, good. Just finished a walk myself. Well, very good, Trey, for your little exercise. That sounds so ridiculous, isn't it? Good morning or good afternoon, David. Chat folk. I like that. Chat folk. Hello, chat folk. I might steal that Rebel Time idea. It's very good. Elizabeth Falling says, another day, another sleigh. Yeah, I'm slaying it. That's true. Get a split AC unit. And that has heating as well. That's exactly what I need, Jonathan. That's absolutely exactly what I need, because I need an AC unit. So that's really smart. So maybe put it above the window here. Yeah, that would work. That would absolutely work. And you can put those in yourself, right? You don't need brains for that, right? You can just be, I can figure that out. That's really smart, actually. I wonder how expensive they are, though. That's the problem. It's all money. It all comes down to money now. You know what I'm saying? Matthias Wandel did a comparison of a bunch of space heaters for his shop. Oh, cool. I'll check that out later, Kate. That would be good. If you exercise enough, you won't feel the cold. Yeah, it's true, Kevin. Once I get going, I'm fine. The problem is after, all the sweaty clothes clings to you and gets you cold. Yes, Geekabibble, Cal is the best. If you get one designed for... Oh, they're actually designed for DIY? Oh, good. Okay, well, I didn't realize there was a difference. Hello, David. 2 Celsius in Gothenburg. Feels like -4. Here it is... I can't remember what it was here. It was like 5 or 6, maybe 7. Hey, from Ireland. Oh, Ireland. I'm thinking about getting my Irish passport. I can get an Irish passport, so I think I should do it. That's what I think. And I think I should go to Ireland, because I've never been to Ireland. In the U.S., you do. Okay, well, have a look, Kevin. Have a look. Hello, where do you live now? I live in Toronto, Canada, but not for long. I think we're moving. I'm not sure exactly when, but But the plan is once the kid is in university, depending on where he goes to university, I think we may consider going back to the wilds of Warwickshire, where I shall get a pig and a tractor and become an eccentric old man, or more eccentric perhaps. Sunny Colorado, well, welcome. Rainy Netherlands. Oh, Netherlands, how are you doing? Oh, can't wait to get out there, Tarquin. Cannot wait to get out there. Geekabibble, would you love to go to Ireland? Looks beautiful in pictures. Yeah, no kidding. And in movies. All the best horror movies are Irish. There's one called In Fear that I just saw, which is really good. Really good. Check that one out. In Fear. I think it's called In Fear. Yeah, if it's not, it's about a couple going to a music festival, and they decide to stay at a hotel, and then he can't find the hotel in it. It sounds like a silly story, but my God, it freaked me out. Van Groovy. Kevin McCabe, Vancouver? No, Toronto. Hello from rainy Florida. Rainy Florida. Misty rain today. Look at you guys. We're all struggling with the weather today. Hello, Manchester. Fantastic. Kaylin, how are you? Rebel Time Lobby. I went to check the mail here in Hamilton yesterday, and it was 11 Celsius. I went out in my winter coat. I know it's impossible to wear the right thing right now in Southern Ontario, because it's just, you got too many clothes on or too few clothes on. You just can't win. Again, Malazzi horror comedy. Yeah, Malazzi horror comedy would be the way to go for sure. I love horror comedies. We actually have a horror, Jane and I, that Jane had an amazing breakthrough on it this morning. Actually, we were talking about it, and I've been struggling with the ending because I just don't want it to be too male, shall we say. Male endings tend to be very, like definitive and fight back and all this kind of stuff. Whereas I find that the female-led horror stuff tends to have a much more sort of intellectual approach to the horror. And so I was really looking for some inspiration there, and boy, did she give it to me. Creeped me out. She's got a really good ending, so I'm going to start working on that. What was Alan Wake 1 was about what? I don't even know. I don't know. AJ Finch is saying hi. Therion Pyrus. Good to see you, Pyros. What else we got? I'll reserve you a room in my house in Western Australia. Ooh, after the UK move, you could be like every other Englishman and move down under like Little England here. It's amazing. I mean, yeah, I would love to live in Australia. The problem with Australia is it's like $6,000 away from everyone I love and care about. Moved from Oregon to North Carolina. I'm done moving. We had 7 horses that went with us, 2,000 miles. Whoa, that's insane. Kevin McCabe, call Malazzi. Use my name. Good evening from weather bipolar Serbia. Well, thank you, Giovanna. It's nice to know we're not the only ones who struggle with weather bipolar, yeah, something like that. I'll never get it right. Janelle, how are you, Janelle? Anders, are you happy with the move from the basement to the garage for your tech man cave? All right. Well, first off, I hate calling it a man cave because it's welcome to everybody. So I try to call it. I've been calling it a fan cave. I'm wondering if maybe I should call this the lab, but it's no, I'm not happy right now because I don't think I thought this through properly. And while I'm absolutely ecstatic that the basement could be used by the ladies while they're at university, I think that's fantastic. I don't think I thought this through exactly just how difficult this place would be to configure for my use. I'm finding that the temperature issues are a big problem, and the insulation is really bad. When I went to insulate, I've discovered there's some really bad rot in the ceiling, so I'm going to have to get the roof looked at. All of which is just too much money right now. I just can't. I would like to make it comfortable enough that I can work in here. That the odd tech bandit who needs to access to the CNC or the 3D printers and stuff can do that. But I think it's gonna take It's going to take a little bit more of a reno than I'd expected. So I'm contemplating, as I say, building some kind of a tent-like box that can be heated and powered and a little bit more muffled, so it's not quite so bad because the other issue is that you got people literally stand on the other side of that tin door and talk, and it'll just come through as loud as day, as clear as day, or they start playing basketball and then you're banging. I think I'm going to have to take the basketball thing down, which I feel really guilty about because kids use it. But the problem is they use it when I'm trying to talk. I'm sitting there trying to work and it's like, bang, this guy's trying to do basketball. I just dunked it. I was like, yeah, I know, I can hear. So yeah, I gotta figure that out. The other thing I'm wondering about, I don't know, I mean, maybe there's people with advice out there. I was thinking about building a little soundproof room. My concern with that was if I build it out here, at some point it's just going to all get ripped down again and it's a waste of materials and stuff. I wondered maybe even about just renting a space. Like, what if I just had a space I could go to, a little office a little cubicle-like office. There are some interesting. Actually, I should look into if you can rent them. But they have these little pods, these little work pods. I thought that's all I need. I just need a little space that I can just sort of plug everything in, have the computer set up so that it is just working for streaming. So I'm not futzing around with USB ports and audio and all this kind of stuff. I know a big issue of it is my own lack of focus on this stuff, but I'm constantly moving around, and it just makes it very, very difficult to have a. I don't feel very settled right now in all of the streaming stuff, and the streaming is very difficult because, trying to get an Ethernet cable around my house right now, to find a place in the house where I can get access to an Ethernet cable without causing chaos. I end up being tucked up in the corner of my bedroom, and that's just not conducive for Jane trying to be at the house and all that kind of stuff. So anyways, it's just tough. 22 kilowatt solar power system on the roof here, ample sunshine. What's a power bill? Exactly, Wayne. That's what I want. Soundproof TARDIS in the corner. You're absolutely right, Larry Cake. That's what I want. I'd love that. I mean, that's time and relative dimensions in space. TARDIS. I've always wanted a TARDIS, so maybe that's what I should do. Make myself a little TARDIS. As I say, you can get these systems, these really nice soundproof glass systems that I guess have ventilation and all that kind of stuff. Because that's the other issue you get into, right? You can build a box, but if you just pump heat into it, it just becomes unbearable. So it's got to have some kind of, and I'm also debating a filtration system of some sort because there's a lot of dust and stuff in here, and I've also got a lot of rodent friends. These giant rats that waddle by. So you're in Toronto, but moved to Hamilton. I have relatives in Hamilton, including an ex-wife. I'm not in Hamilton, I'm in Toronto, but I guess you're maybe talking to someone else. Anyways. When you get the farm in England, big ground mount solar array. Well, that, Jonathan, or certainly, actually, yes, absolutely a big array. I'm not sure if we're going to do ground mount or whether we'll do like a roof mount system. We've got fields, so we could put a couple of arrays out there for sure. But I really want to do some geothermal. That makes the most sense to me. Like, get a heat pump. We got enough space. We could. I think we probably just go straight down. I think that's probably easier. But you can dig up. I mean, it just saves that rather than digging up a whole garden. The basic idea is that if you get down far enough, the temperature of the earth is much more temperate. It doesn't go up and down as much. So you can get like 15 degrees. At, I don't know, whatever it is, 6, 8 feet, 10 feet, I don't know what it is. And so you just run these pipes in there and then circulate water through it, and that can heat a whole house. I mean, it's just amazing. And I get to play with an excavator. That is a very, very good point. You know what? Screw the deep well. I'll dig my own. I'll dig up the whole garden with the excavator. I can't wait, because that's what I'm saying. I want a pig and a track. We got to go to England. I'm gonna have, and you know what? If I were to not stream that. If I were to document that, I'd watch that. In fact, I watch that all the time. There you go. It's my new channel. It's gonna be Pig and Pig. Me, sci-fi pig and pig. 4 times 10. Now that's the next problem. Oops. That's the next problem, Wayne Taylor. Internet. It sucks. It sucks in the part of work that I'm in. And that is a concern. So I'm worried, well, maybe by the time we get out there, there'll be other alternatives. But I'd rather not give money to Elon Musk right now because I just think he's crazy. A little too crazy, a little too abrasive for me right now. Absolutely not to diminish any of his brilliant moves, but I feel like Twitter has just destroyed him. He should never have stepped into that ego treacle. I feel like he's like a dinosaur in one of those tar pits. The Twitter is just sucking him under. Anyways, so his satellite service is apparently quite quick. I don't know if it's as quick as land-based stuff. I can't imagine that it is. That or just part of doing business is oh, wait a sec, or I get my own dedicated fiber, and then I set up a mesh network for the neighborhood, and then I make money by beaming line of sight high-speed internet to all of the houses. Oh my God, that's the way to do it. Brilliant, Jonathan, brilliant. What else we got? Hello, mate. How are you? I'm sweaty, I'm cold, and I'm incredibly unfit. Thank you, Marvel. But how are you doing? It's much faster. Wait a sec, Kevin. Sorry. What's much faster? The land based stuff? I'm assuming is much faster than the satellite stuff. Or am I wrong? Am I wrong on that? I did exactly that for a local village. Oh, really, Jonathan? You set that up? Oh, then I'll talk to you about that. If you don't mind, I'll pick your brains about that because I think that'd be fascinating. So you had some kind of fiber connection, and then you would just sold that off to people in the neighborhood. I would totally do that. I'd love to do that. It'd be really fun. We had a draft. Although the only problem is that I wouldn't go far. It would definitely have to be just the village itself because I don't want to get into like customer support with like it's raining and my internet's slow, that kind of stuff. So we had a drought. We had drought internet here for the longest time. Australia is so big, just took time. Now fiber to the premises everywhere, 1,500 speeds, norm now. Yeah, I got to say, when I first visited Australia, man, the internet sucked. Now, the last time I went, I was like, woohoo, I can live here. I'm good, thanks. Been busy coding. Good, Marvel G, what are you coding in? What language are you using? Come on, spread the joy, spread the joy. Brought 1 gigabit leased line into one of the main farm buildings. Okay. And then Wi-Fi point-to-point out to other properties. That's exactly what I want to do. Is 1 gigabit fast enough? Is that as fast as you can go? Or like, what does that even cost? Jonathan, where are you? Are you based in England or are you based in, I can't remember where you're based. If it's England, it's even better. I can literally pick your brains. Satellite has limited capacity, long-term wise, bad choice. Okay, all right. Node.js and SQF. I don't know what SQF is, but Node.js, that's fun stuff. I played with that before. Grimsby, there you go, Grimsby, England. Perfect. All right, Jonathan. If you don't mind, I'll when we get closer to that, I'll pick your brains about that because that sounds kind of cool. It just sounds like a way of splitting the cost. Do you make any money off it, or is it just sort of like a break even, pay for the gigabit service type thing? And also, if you've got lots of people using your line of sight, does it reduce your speed? I'll come and see you in Basingstoke. Oh, great. Oh, fantastic. Oh, great. Perfect. I'll see you there. Perfect. You talking wireless? No, I'm talking, well, yes. I'm talking wireless for other people. For me, I want dedicated, giant, frickin' massive, fire hose access to the internet. I have pretty good speed here. It slows down a lot thanks to certain members of my family who use it a lot. Kids. I've got 2 teenagers in the base. 2 teenagers. I've got 2 20-something university students in the basement. I've got 1 16-year-old with a giant gaming PC. It definitely. I feel like if the industry picks up a bit and there's some more work, perhaps I might splurge and get an access point put here. Not an access point. Get an actual my own separate connection for the Crystal Cave, for my Garage of Solitude. What can I call it? Garage of Solitude? I got to come up with names. Good names. People think names. Ubiquity is the way to go. I don't have Ubiquity. I was playing with, it was really fun. One of the open source ones. I can't remember what it's called. Not Ubiquity. We also use Ubiquity. Yeah, Jonathan. Ubiquity is fantastic. I love it. It was just too expensive for me, so I went with Netgear, net something or another. I can't remember what it's called. You can get 1 gig connections up to 18 kilometers away. Wow. Meredith, yes, Baron von Quipley. That is right. You are speaking to Meredith. Well, he who played Meredith. Cost in Sweden, let's see. For business, for fiber is 1 gig, $180 dedicated. Me and my apartment, $70 for 1 gig both ways. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Business fiber is always more expensive. I don't know why. What video games have you been playing lately? I've been playing 7 Days to Die lately with a friend. Oh, I don't know that one. Quick geek bibble. I've got to be honest. I'm not playing a lot of video games. I wish I felt like I had time to, but I just don't. When I get some free time, I like to talk to friends. I like to, have a chat with Lance or as my friend who was supposed to come today. I also have a lot of writing to do, so I'm doing a lot of writing stuff as well. So yeah, I'm trying sort of not to game right now, but I am my crying place. Oh Jesus, Gimpy G Gaming. He's in the house. Gimpy G is in the house. My crying place. All right, so my crying place. It's my happy place, my little crying place. Yes, Gimpy G. So I did profess I did enjoy our chat yesterday, even though we weren't streaming like I was hoping to. And I'm not gonna be able to do it today either, buddy, because I've got the kids home with stomach issues again for some unknown reason. Idea: the Crafty Man's Lair. That's pretty good. It's not bad. The Crafty Man's Lair. What would that be? TCML. Yeah. I think we can do better. It's Gimpy. Hello, LOL. Rebel says, hello, just got my first 3D printer. Oh, 3D printer. Third, of course, 3D makes more sense. What did you get? Oh my God, Roxy Plays, you're going to love it. You're going to love it. 3D printer, get in there. But I'll tell you though, if nothing else, find yourself some 3D software and master it, because that's what you need. Otherwise, you're just printing baubles and little tchotchkes and stuff. Like, you got to get proficient with Fusion 360, or this one I was playing with, this nice one that's on the iPad, Shaper or something like that. But Dave's Man Cave, DMC. It's the DMC zone. Enders 2 Pro. Oh, that'll be nice. That'll be nice, Roxy Plays. Enjoy. Let us know how that goes. Lance the Great Gimpy G. Oh, for God, please do not provoke him. Do not provoke the Gimpy G. Call your cave arbitrary skepticism. Ooh. Arbitrary skepticism. Janice had a secret lab. Yeah, that's not bad. I kind of like that. I quite like its... Foscat. I've never heard of that. I have to check that out. I was thinking about something about maybe a lab or a cavern or a box, bunker. I mean, it's the bunker. Maybe it's the bunker. Maybe that's it, But Gimpy G will come up with a good name, I'm sure. He usually does. It's pretty specialized. Oh, is it? What's it specialized for, this Foscad stuff? Well, I got to talk about my learning. Okay, I got to talk about my learning. So I've been reading this Gordon Carrera Cyber Spies book, really enjoying it. And when I say reading, I mean listen to it, because I don't read anything anymore. I just have it. I put it into my ear holes. So listening to the audiobook on this, it was Snowden, who was yesterday. I couldn't remember the guy's name, but it was the Snowden leaks, which were where they were discussing and sort of the implications of this. How by exposing, this is an interesting side effect that I did not think of, and I'm sure he didn't either. Where by exposing America and Britain's almost basically ubiquitous surveillance systems. He was hoping to sort of like bust it open, and people would get frustrated, and then that would be the end of that kind of approach to governments. Weirdly, the opposite has happened, and other countries have sort of begun to sort of try to break off their own and their own sort of portion of the internet, and be able to surveil it themselves. Someone, not in this book, but someone else referred to it as a splinter net, which I thought was a absolutely perfect term for it. The idea that, Russia wants their own network, wants their own internet, China wants their own internet, and they're beginning to create them, and then within their own system, they are gods here. They get to control them entirely in the same way that it looks like America and the UK had been doing too. I mean, the thing that became apparent in this book, I can't remember if they actually mentioned it or not, but is that basically, Americans are very distrustful of government and more trustful of corporations, it seems. That seems to be the basic, not everyone obviously, but the general American attitude is that, corporations will save us and the government is inefficient and potentially corrupt, and often corrupt, in fact. Whereas the Brits tend to be much more trusting of their government and much less trusting of corporations. Again, not a blanket statement. I understand not everyone will feel the same way, but there's a general sense. I mean, in the same way that America likes to govern, whereas I think Canadians like to be governed, if that makes sense. The Americans are very big on having a say in government stuff. We have a tendency, the Canadians have a tendency to sort of go like, well, I voted, be good, go on, do your stuff type thing. Outsourcing the spyware to private companies is still the wildest thing to me, like the NSO group. Yeah, that's something else they talk about as well, that spying, hacking, all this stuff has been outsourced, and just how different that is compared to how hard it was for America and Britain and other countries to get their heads around. Again, China, perfect example. You know what I mean? Like, just go and buy some property in other countries and have your civilians let you have the information you need. They're not actually spies, but they are beholden to their government in some way. I'm not saying every single Chinese person's like this, but that has been their approach to espionage in a way that we just haven't. We had specific spies that would go out. We were expensive. They were clandestine. They were all this kind of stuff. Whereas I think China has a much more sort of, I guess because the government is so controlling there, that their citizens just sort of see it as part of their duty, or even they're required to participate in some of this stuff. Again, not all citizens, not all of China, just again, these are sort of generalizations about the sort of the cyber security, cyber spying stuff that was coming out in the book. And again, the reality is, it's so funny to have Obama was about to go and tear a strip off China about the fact that their corporate espionage stuff. And, the day before, a couple of days before he goes in to do that, Snowden's leaks come out. And it's like, maybe we won't actually maybe throw any stones right now because, we're kind of just as guilty. So I think a lot of the cases, I often find this with people, like even just individuals. People will accuse you of things that they are capable of often. Like if they, people will get nervous about working with you because, or not specifically me, but just in general, will get nervous about things that are going through their head. That could, so if someone accuses you of lying, and especially, if you're not lying, I often find that can be because they are, or that they don't trust you. It's because they're not trustworthy. Like, it's a weird kind of a system that happens when communication breaks down. I think we start sort of putting our own motives and sort of emotions on things. I mean, that's why I think it's so important to keep communicating with people, because in that silence, that's where all the misunderstandings happen. Shipping ports were down 4 days Australia-wide. Their computers hacked. Wow. All of our. I mean, I don't know if they're back up or not. Anyone in Toronto can tell me. But apparently the library system was a victim of. It sounds like it was a ransomware attack. Which really weird. You want to hear weird about that? Is that people are paying them, which of course is just a disaster. Because if people realize that they can make money doing this, it's going to promote. If there was some way, I don't know how to do it, but if there's some way of saying no, it is illegal to pay ransomware, then that is not an option for you. Then ransomware would be dead the next day. The problem is, corporation by corporation, and these companies are smarter and smarter, becoming more and more like almost legitimate businesses, where they'll do diligence, they'll do their due diligence, they'll go and research these companies and find out, do they have insurance? Oh, they've got $4 million in insurance. Great, we're gonna extort you for $4 million, and you don't have to worry. It's going to the insurance company to pay for it. So it's just, it's almost like a cost of doing business. And if it becomes just a cost of doing business for people, it's going to it'll paralyze the system. I mean, I don't see a way around it. I mean, if people think they can make money doing, this kind of attack, this ransomware attack, where they're basically, they get into your system, they encrypt your system so it's impossible for you to get into it, and then they extort money from you in order for you to then access your system again. What's fascinating, though, is I talked about this earlier, but there's the game theory approach to this stuff, where they go like, the reality is, if by losing access to your system you lose $1 billion, then it's worth paying $4 million to have it back. And that's the problem, right? Is that there's also a problem of, from a business perspective, you go, of course you pay the $4 million, but there's a part of you that's going like, F you scumbags, for taking over my system. You don't want to pay it. But the reality is, it makes sense from a business perspective to pay those things off. Got to stop it. Don't know how exactly, but yeah. Captain Catherine is super late to this, but hello. Well, hello to you too. There's people always saying hello. I'm fine with that. Marcia Giorgio, what a wonderful name, which I'm sure I butchered. I apologize. What would you say if you found out that 99% of physics is wrong? I would say, I think I am, while I'm open to learning that, I am skeptical. How's that? Isn't kidnapping in South America a business expense kind of thing? I mean, there are definitely parts of the world where it's so prevalent. It's basically, they're kidnapping your data, basically. They were talking about, there were certain parts of agencies that were going back to like typewriters and written notes and stuff, because it was more secure than using computers. That's terrifying. So could you imagine if we get to the point where things are so bad that we have to resort to jotting notes down on paper and going back to like passing passing notebooks off to each other. I mean, Jesus, boy, we got to get our stuff together. I know this is disconnected from the current conversation, but you could call your current space the Nexus. Ooh. It's the place where all your passion projects converge upon. The Nexus. I feel like it needs a lot of LEDs. It needs a lot of unicorn vomit, then, I think, if it's going to be called the Nexus. But that's not, I would consider that. Have decent offline backups would be a good start. Right. But here's the thing. I mean, you would know this, Jonathan, so I'm going to tell this to everyone else. But the other thing is that a lot of the times, they're very patient. So they'll go in, they'll make sure you've done 3 or 4 backups with their system on it already before they hit you. And then they can also hit you multiple times, the other thing as well. Rebecca Haskell, message retracted. That sounds bad. Man cave idea. The Hive. Ooh, the Hive is good too. The Hive is very good. Hello, Catherine. Oh, Gimpy G. Gotta be friends with everyone. This is a case of everything old is new again. In short, people are aware, then they forget. Then when it comes into view again, and people act like it never happened before and never happened before. Yes, I agree. You know what we do, Mark LaPointe, here in Toronto, is every year we go, oh my God, look at this snow. I swear to God, every year there's a massive snowfall. Toronto's not ready for it. Everyone's like, oh my God, can you believe this? I was like, yes, I can believe this. It happens this time every year. I always find that kind of funny that it's always like, oh my God, it's snowing. It's like, of course it's snowing. It's Toronto. We haven't got that yet, by the way. Oh my, why such harsh titles? I'm guilting myself into getting fit. I enjoy making fun of my fatty fat. I am, all right, oh good, Mandy's checking in on Captain Catherine. Don't pay companies, got to go public as well. I think many companies silently pay, and no one will know the degree of companies that paid. Yeah, that's exactly it, Wayne Taylor. Although the FBI was brought in on that oil company, got hit. And what did the FBI do? They paid the $4 million because it saves the $1 billion company from stopping providing oil to. I mean, America would have. There'd be like lineups around the block at every pump because of it. But at the same time, I'm like going, really? Like that? They're literally the same people who say do not pay are the ones who actually go and pay it. It's yeah. North Carolina is affordable high-speed internet. It's $25 where I'm at. I like the sound of that. That's it. I'm going to North Carolina. Title is what brought me in. Oh, good. John Lennon was the walrus. Goo 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 goo. That's it. That's me. I'm the walrus. Big fat sweaty walrus. Hurrah. Keep up the Burn&Learns. Love it. Stay healthy, everyone. Good point. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how fit I am going to get from this. I'm probably going to do my knees in or something. I don't know. But I'm trying to be sensible. I did up the tension a little bit today. So 15 minutes backwards at 5, and then 15 backward at 4 tension. Then forward, I was going up and down between 5 and 6. Yeah, that's it. Evening all. Martin Drake's saying good evening, and I say good evening back. Tarquin says, this sounds like the SGA episode, The Intruder. Aha, someone can always tie it back to SGA. Hope your day is going great, McKay. It is going fabulously so far, although my son is not well, so I should probably go in and see what he's eating for lunch. Although I did make him a fabulous salad. He started requesting salads for lunch. I'm like, who are you? You cannot be related to me. So I've started making him these fabulous Caesar salads, but I'm a little nervous that maybe that's what's causing his stomach problems. Like, what if I'm the one who's actually killing him that way? That could be bad. That's the one thing you're supposed to keep these kids alive somehow. David, I know. I lived in Toronto. I'll be in next month. Oh, really? Oh, so you know Toronto very well. Toronto, 4 seasons in one day. It's true. FedEx Cow. Very good. FedEx Cow. Great name, by the way. LOL, harshest titles. Sunday Roast one made me laugh. What did I say about Sunday Roast? I'm sure there was something. Good day, Mr. Hewlett. Well, good day to you, Mr. Birch. You ever watched Marcus Hutchins' story, one of the most gifted hackers on the planet? What a story his life has been. No, I'll check that out. I might have. Marcus Hutchins. All right, should I write that down? Is that something I should be following up on? All right, I'm looking it up now. Marcus Hutchins. Marcus Hutchins. You guys got any ideas of topics for Email of Awesome Awesomeness this week? I've got a couple of things that could be fun to talk about, including these synthetic yeast chromosomes. But I'm not sure what to do with it because I'm like, I don't know where that goes for most people. I find it fascinating. I'm just not sure how interesting it is for other people. But so if you've got some good hot topics worth talking about, let me know. Or forever hold your peach. Hold your peach. Can you tell I'm getting hungry? Hutchins. All right. Okay, I'm looking this up, and he's a hacker thing. Okay, I'm looking that up. There you go. All right, I'm writing it down with my rocket pen. I agree. The Nexus would be a good name. Nexus? Do people like Nexus? The Nexus? Nexus. The Nexus. Although I feel like I'd be constantly smiling every time I say it because it just feels so over the top. Hello from Russia. Hello, Solar Spark. You are not the first from Russia. I've had a couple of people from Russia. I'm amazed. How is it out there? How is it? I feel like I don't. I mean, Russia just seems like so completely different to me now since this Ukrainian thing. The invasion of Ukraine. I feel like it's become this sort of mysterious Iron Curtain again, basically. I mean, so I hope you're well, and I hope you are happy, and I hope you're healthy, and and I really hope you can convince that Putin guy to get the hell out of Ukraine. Not sure if you ever mentioned, but what workouts do you do? Do you follow a certain type of workout or just kind of random? Well, I was random for a lot. I'm generally pretty random. But what I'm trying to do is at least, and thus only, half an hour a day, literally, elliptical going backwards, elliptical going forward. I have this crazy old, like it's almost 20 years old, Smooth Fitness, it's called, elliptical machine, which weighs, it's a tank. It weighs it like weighs more than cars I've owned. But it is very sturdy, so my big walrus-like figure doesn't drag it around too much. So it's very stable. It feels very secure, and it's it's a good workout with no contact. There's no, I mean, I find even walking for long periods of time, I find really tough on my knees. So this is good. Hope you recover soon. My biggest for my first kid on the way. Oh boy, voice of many. You're gonna love it. You're gonna freaking love it. It's scary. It's scary. It's always scary. What am I going to say? I'm not. You know what? The fact of the matter is, you just worried about them all the time. It doesn't matter. I like him here beside me, and then that way, I feel like I can look after him. But the reality is, he's 16 now, and he's a freaking grown up. He's more grown up than I ever was. So that's what I do for the workouts. And then for the learn part, what I'm doing is I used to watch things. I now just find, it's nice to sort of close your eyes, do the exercise, and listen. And I've been listening to this Gordon Carrera Cyber Spies book, all about hacking and stuff, and it's just so cool. I wish I could do more in that regard. Like, I'd love to. I've got a bunch of these cyber security courses that I sort of pick up and put down every so often because of just time. But I would love to maybe over like the Christmas holiday or something, I'll just be able to get like what am I saying? It's like nuts. The Christmas holidays are even more busy. But I just love to be able to go somewhere or go away or just hide in my little heated tent that I'm going to create in here to try to survive the winter. Just disappear for a few hours every day and just learn this stuff because it's just fascinating. All right, good evening from the UK. Good evening. My 9-year-old daughter has become addicted to apples. I also like Who Are You? Addicted to apples. The computers or the food? Apples and cheese, my favorite. Got apple and cheddar cheese. Mwah, delicious. Marcus Hutchins is the man who saved the internet is the documentary. Oh, okay, great. I'm gonna write that down with my rocket pen. Man who saved the internet. I'm going to go back to my notebook. I'm going to start carrying my notebook again because here's the thing. I find things get done more when they're written down. I put them in my phone, I just lose them. They disappear. Definitely Michigan weather. Oh boy, so I dread that. I'm dreading my Michigan weather. It's coming. It's coming. Winter is coming, my friends. An island got created in Japan by a volcano. Oh, recently? Charlotte Spas? Have to look at that. Volcano Island, Japan. Okay. Greetings from Belgium. I'm bringing chocolates, fries, waffles, and beer for all. Oh, please do. Bring it on, Brian T. I've done my exercise. Now I want to eat my fried foods. Fantastic. Belgium is wonderful. I've been to Belgium very briefly, but we were in Belgium. I ended up getting very sick, actually. I ate a bad muscle. Yes, the same workout as Arnold. Is that the same Arnold? Yeah, it's totally Anders. It's totally it's like Arnold would laugh at me. I like Nexus. It's just a bit too Trek for me. Oh, really? Is Nexus Trek-like? Should be more gate-related. Gate-related. What would be a good gate-related, Yeah. I have to think about it. All right. Nexus control. Now that just sounds like I'm cheesy now. Get some weights. Cardio will burn what is in your bloodstream, thus making as little rest. Get some weights. Build some muscle to build the engine to burn more with a higher BMR. I hate weights. I hate weights. I'll tell you why I hate weights. Because I can't do anything else while I'm doing it. And I feel like, and I know this is totally wrong, but my head says you are wasting your life when I'm doing exercise. I just feel like I'm wasting my time. I know I'm not. I know I'm getting fit. I know all this stuff. I need to be able to do something while I'm doing, and I can't do weights and listen to things. I can't take it in. With the elliptical, I can. So I'm doing what tiny little ancient old man approach to exercise that I can. And I should probably look into some of the science of this stuff, but here's the other thing. I find it, I just don't, I don't care about this. I should, I know. This is a flabby thing that carries my brain around. I wish I could just be, I want to be a Dalek. Like, that's what I want to be. I'm a little brain in a nice, cool robot that can, take over the universe. I hadn't even thought of Trek when I suggested it. I just thought of the meaning of the word itself. No, that's right. Go do some black hat DEF CON classes. Yeah, exactly, Mark LaPointe. That's it. Well, that's kind of what I did. I got a guy, I think it's a guy, we don't know who it is, it's a mystery, who put out a whole series of videos and classes on hacking, like starting with the basics, starting with the really fun stuff, like, which I know a bit about. I mean, I know a little bit about a lot of this stuff, but not enough to do anything. Not that I need to do anything with it, but it's starting with things like, Unix, like what, or Linux, I guess, or Linux, like what Linux commands do you just need to know to get around a Linux system? I know a lot of them. I've used most of them, but don't remember any of them. So it's kind of fun to be able to. And there's stuff that there's also a lot of new stuff since I was playing with Linux. So he's a bit lost on how to start. Honestly, I fortunately cannot help. What is this, Sandy? What's going on? I have a friend who is looking into getting into cybersecurity. He is a bit lost on how to start. Honestly, I cannot help. I can, Sandy. There's a couple of places that you should look into. There's a guy out of Australia who does these online interactive courses, and it was very, very kind and sent me access to them so I could have a look, and they are freaking cool. Like, they're really cool. So basically, you go online, and in a window, you run some of the stuff that they suggest, and you could see, it's almost like breaking very, very simple ways of like changing permissions and stuff, and how you get into a system, and then how do you exploit that system and stuff. It's really, really cool. Let me find out what it is. I'm gonna see if hopefully I won't lose you when I do this, but let me just look it up, because it's really, really cool, and I really would like to. I'm gonna have to look it up. That's it. Jonathan, you're the best. Pentester Labs. That's it. Go check out Pentester Labs. It's pretty cool. Jonathan, did you try it? It's pretty great, isn't it? I mean, like, I didn't want to embarrass him, but I was like, let me voice them. Like, let me do it, because I feel like it's difficult. It's more difficult to understand with his accent and stuff. I wanted to say, like, look, I'll voice all of them for you if you let me do them all. And as it turns out, he gave me access to a bunch of them. Yeah, Pentester Labs. Go and check that out. If your friend wants to get into it, I highly, highly, highly recommend that. It's just a great, great system, and it's really low. This is for Sandy Hex 7, by the way. It's just a really sort of low-impact way of getting into it. It's the elliptical of this stuff. And you're just right away, you're in there typing commands and stuff. The other one, I've got to say, I really like, is this hacker whose name I don't remember. I'll have to look it up. I'll try to remember to post it at another time, or maybe I can put it in the I'll try to put it in the description. I'll put both of these links in the description when I'm done. And I've had lunch. So yeah, it's another one that I really liked. Again, hardcore hacker. This guy's like a real hacker. He has his own website. I was a little nervous even like buying the course, because I'm like, am I going to get hacked doing this? The reality is, I'm sure they could if they wanted to, anyways. But anyways, Mitnick. Oh, he's great. Yeah, I mean, he's not great, but his I've enjoyed his books as well. Mitnick stuff is really fun as well. How about something like Gateship Layer? You're so right. When it comes to writing things down to get them done, I used to keep to-do lists and was able to be a functioning human who got things done. But since I stopped that, I've just been a mess. Brian T, you're talking to, it's preach to the choir, my friend. I'm exactly the same. My advice before you even try hacking, white or black hat, you got to have advanced Linux skills. Yeah, Wayne, that's it. That's what I love about this course. So the course that I took was Linux. It started like Linux for Hackers, it was called. And the other one, the Pentester Labs, is all Linux. Like you're literally, you from moment one, you're in there editing files and changing permissions and figuring all that stuff out. It's really good. My advice as a doctor of computing is to ignore all advice and just have fun. Johnny Wednesday, well put, my friend. Nix is life. Have to go. Virtual meetings. Later, Hewlett, the blurty dad. Thank you so much for coming out. Thank you all for coming out. I'm getting a bit chilly, and I got to get myself some lunch, and I got to find out how my son is doing, who is home sick. So I should not be talking to you. I should be hanging out with my son. I am going to try to play some Alan Awake or whatever it's called. Alan, he was telling me about this horror game that I said I would be happy to pitch in on if he was going to play it with me. So I think we're just literally going to. He said like let's just curl up on the sofa and play. So I'm going to do that. Yes, I'm sure he will feel better. We'll get it figured out. And as I say, he's going to go to the doc next week, and he can discuss it all with that too. In the meantime, go talk to Gimpy G. He's amazing. He's fun. I had a chat with him yesterday. It was a really interesting chat, even though I was in a foul mood because my computer was misbehaving. That's Alan Wake 2. Okay, yeah, I think that's what we're going to go play. And when, like I say, once I got in and warmed up and got some food, I'll jot down some of these links for the Pentester stuff and such in the description. Thank you all so much. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate everyone showing up like this and what a freaking genius, smart bunch of people you are. I learn stuff all the time on this, and I freaking love that. All right, so until we geek again, I will say be safe, be kind, be brilliant, cheerio, and huzzah!